And at this time, Lois has her Drash for us today.
After killing the Egyptian for beating a fellow Hebrew slave, he fled to Midian. He married the priest's daughter Zipporah and started a family far from Egypt. God called him from the burning bush to return to Egypt to deliver the Israelites from the Egyptian bondage. When it seemed there was no way out, God parted the Red Sea when Moses stretched out his rod. He brought water out of the rock, manna from heaven, and the law of God down from Mount Sinai. So what was Moses' great sin that he was prohibited from entering the land? At the waters of Meribah, instead of speaking to the rock, he produced water as God had instructed. Moses, in his anger at the rebellion of the people, struck the rock. In God's mercy, water came out, but there was a price to be paid for his disobedience. He had disrespected God in the sight of Israel and not treated him as holy in the sight of the sons of Israel. A moment of anger cost Moses his final dream of entering the land. No matter how much we try to obey God and strive in our own efforts, we will always fall short. Only the blood of Messiah is enough to bring us into full reconciliation. In contrast to the wrath of God against Moses, the Haftorah portion speaks of the tenderness of God for his people. He will level out the mountains, smooth over rough patches, and the glory of the Lord will be revealed. The grandeur and majesty of the Lord is shown in this passage, and man is but a speck in comparison. The Brit Hadashah portion is the beginning of John the Baptist's ministry. In contrast to today's sermon, which typically begins with a little funny story or a joke or something to get people interested, Yochanan hits him between the eyes with a 2x4, telling him, "You're a brood of vipers," and not exactly the most popular technique of how to win friends and influence people. Nonetheless, he did get their attention. He warned them not to rely on their heritage, parentage, or actions to get them right with God. It takes a real internal heart change, which only God can accomplish. Evidence of this change could be seen in three classes of people: those having more, sharing with the less fortunate; the businessmen being honest in business dealings; and soldiers who were not to exert undue or uncalled for tyranny over civilians. God will not tolerate sharing his glory with another, but he will comfort his people when they turn to him in true repentance. Shabbat shalom.
Good job, Lois. Thank you very much.